Hello there, welcome to our channel, or welcome back. I am Alora with Iron Horse Homestead, and today I am going to be talking about goldenrod and showing you how I do a heat infused goldenrod oil. I actually realized I hadn't done an intro to this video when I did it the first time, so here we are. So this is goldenrod behind me. It is a fall weed that pops up around here. It is everywhere actually on our property. And actually when we used to keep bees, the bees loved it. It was a great fall source of food for them. And fun fact is when bees use goldenrod to make their honey, the honey stinks. Like the area around the hives would smell like an old dirty gym bag. It was disgusting, but it made really good honey for them. And the honey didn't taste like goldenrod, or didn't taste like a dirty gym bag. But other than the bees loving it, goldenrod also has a bunch of other awesome properties. It's a great natural pain reliever. It's also really great for allergies. A lot of people think they're allergic to goldenrod, when in reality, they're probably allergic to ragweed, which grows near goldenrod a lot. So because goldenrod's pollen is not carried by the wind. As I said, the bees love it. So the bees help to move the pollen. It's not carried by the wind, so it's not usually a source of fall-time allergies. But it can be taken as a tincture for allergies. And like I said, it's also great for pain. Those are the two main uses. There's a lot of other uses for it, just like with any herbs. But for my heat infused oil, we'll be using it for the pain properties. So I'll be showing you that, showing you the harvesting, showing you how that goes. But I just wanted to give you a little intro on goldenrod, show you what it looks like when it's growing, and kind of mention some of the benefits of it. So with that, so this is my first goldenrod harvest. It's morning time, but the dew is pretty much dried up. As you can see, it's not a ton. I have a ton, but this is just the first harvest. So what I'll do with this is, my plan for this batch is I'm going to let it wilt a little bit, let all the dew completely dry off, and then I'm going to make an infused oil with it. It can be used for muscles, it can be turned into a salve, etc. So that's what I'm going to do with this first batch, and I think I'm going to heat infuse the oil. Sometimes I do the cold infusion long-term method, but sometimes I like to do the heat infused method because I feel like I can just sometimes infuse a little bit more energy into it. It's a little bit more, I don't know, it feels like more active manifesting or whatever you want to call it. So let these wilt, and then I will start them in a heat infused oil, and I'll show you that process too. Okay, so I am getting ready to make the infused oil with the goldenrod that I dried. And this is, I don't have a double boiler, so I just kind of set up a double boiler hack, I guess. So underneath this pot is just a canning jar lid. And so set it there, set the pot on top of that, fill the water up in the big pot up to the, at least at or over where your liquid is in the smaller pot. I use this from like melting beeswax, a lot of things where you need heat, but you don't want it directly on the heat. So for my infused oils, I do a 1-to-1 ratio by volume. So I do 1 cup of olive oil and then 1 cup of my dried herbs. So that's the goldenrod. I put that through the food processor. When I do my infused oils, I put stuff through the food processor, so there's just more plant matter in the oil, like the plant matter surface, there's words, touching the oil. So, and I'll stir it, and you don't want the temperature to get warmer than 110 degrees. So I'll keep it kind of on low. And sometimes you have to add a little bit more olive oil. The 1-to-1 ratio is kind of just a guide. But sometimes you have to add a little bit more olive oil. And that's another thing the food processor helps with is the smaller you can chop up your herbs, the less oil you need to cover it. So that'll sit on the stove infusing for a few hours. You can do people have different times. I usually do around 4 to 6. I'll add oil if I feel like I need it. I'll keep it stirring because you don't want to scorch the herbs. And then I'll strain it, and I can either use it directly on the skin for things, or it will become an ingredient in a salve. So there's our infused goldenrod oil. I thought I would show everybody the finished product after it's been strained and remind everybody to label it. So always put the herb, what it's prepared in, the date, and then I always put the Latin names of them too, because I am, trying to learn the Latin names, so that helps me. So yeah, it's strained. This is an old spaghetti jar that we've cleaned and sanitized, and there it is. Now, as I said, this will be used for muscle aches, strains, bruises, joint complaints, arthritic complaints, etc. It's a great herb for that. And I have a ton more. I'll probably be making some tinctures because it's also great for allergies. Please ignore my cat sneezing in the background. It's great for allergies when taken internally. So yeah, but this will be for aches and sprains and general muscular complaints or joint complaints. So yeah, there you go. Thanks guys, see you next time.